is up, everybody? Aaron with Aaron Unwinds here for another episode of Aaron Unwinds. We're here today to discuss the fourth and apparently the final chapter in the Friday the 13th series with Friday the 13th final chapter, Friday the 13th 4, whatever you want to go by. Directed by Joseph Zito. I really enjoyed this movie quite a bit. I think of the first four, I'd say this is the best of the four, and probably my favorite of the four as well. But yeah, it's pretty standard. Just picks up right after 2 and 3. So really, it could have been called Monday the 16th, but they went with Friday the 13th, part 4. That's okay. The final chapter. So it takes place right after part 3, I should say. And Jason is taken into the hospital. Gives kind of like a little bit of the Halloween 2 vibes to me. And basically, for the first little bit, they don't have Jason come back alive. So, I imagine, for people who were watching this back when it came out, they were, kind of tense and interested as to when Jason would come back to life. And I think that's done rather well. The weird, kind of perverted, creepy doctor, Axel, I believe is his name, flirting with the nurse, eating a sandwich over a corpse, all the classic tropes we've gone to see shown and dissected many times over. He eventually is they're eventually kind of chilling. He's trying to get with the nurse still with Jason's dead body behind him. So, we know how that kind of works out. We got our first kill of the movie with Axel, the doctor, getting his head turned all the way around. And overall, it brings me to one of my big positives on the movie, which is Jason. I like this Jason a lot. I think he's the most brutal. He's not really played as a joke at all in this movie either, and I do think it works rather well. It's just a very physical performance, and I found him to be the best Jason so far. So I kind of thought the kills were very creative as well throughout it. So there's the nurse who's killed afterwards, who's basically gutted from her stomach up as she's being held up. There's just good, really good kills. And then Jason is heading back to Camp Crystal Lake, where it's not exactly a group of teens. It's a group of college kids this time. But the difference here is the entire crew is actually very, very good top to bottom. My favorite, though, I can't get past Crispin Glover, and I will just call him Crispin Glover for this review. He's great. There's just overall, I think all the characters, though, they have very good kind of arcs and character to their characters. So it was nice to see that. Well, also just being very fun and large. That's kind of what this movie is all about. It was the final chapter. I feel like Joseph Zito really made it like it was the final chapter. It's just all the characters are kind of bigger and a little bit better. The kills are really great. Tom Savini's work is never wasted in this movie. There was a kill in the shower that was my favorite, where Jason just busts through the shower and breaks this guy's face with his hand. And it's just crushed in, and it's just really great kill. But there's tons of really great kills in this movie. The one where the girl's fighting with her boyfriend, goes out to the raft. The boyfriend gets shot with a spear up through his balls, and raised up off the ground. Then he goes into the water, Jason, and kills the girl in the raft, and that's done really well. And looks like it's done on a super cold night. And it just all the while we have Tommy Jarvis, played by Corey Feldman, child Corey Feldman, who he is just Corey Feldmaning it up. There's just a lot I could go back to with this movie, and I would revisit. And then Crispin Glover's dance, the best moment in any Friday the 13th movie ever. I haven't seen them all yet, but I know this won't be topped. Just phenomenal work there from Crispin Glover. That and the Nightmare on Elm Street 2 dance, just 1A, 1B, but I got to give it to Crispin. He killed it. His death was probably the worst death of the movie to me. Like he's looking for the corkscrew, gets the corkscrew in the hand, and then they just kind of axe him in the face, and we get just like a nice Tom Savini practical. It's not bad. It's just for a little bit better, crispy. Fast forward into the end of the movie, Tommy Jarvis, played by again Corey Feldman, figures out the way to get through to Jason, and he like shaves his head and like acts like he is child Jason, and wouldn't you know it, it works. And they end up like half decapitating Jason, where the axe goes through his head, but he like falls down, and then you just see the machete, not axe, the machete, just slide through and like half decapitate him. And I feel like we've seen a lot of decapitations in movies like that. I don't think has been done too many times, and definitely not back then. So big props there. And that, and then he just goes to town on him. I mean, that was the final. This was the final chapter going in. We obviously know it wasn't, but it doesn't take away from what this movie was. So yeah, overall, I just really had a good time with this movie. Let's go ahead and get to those ratings, please. Standard ratings first. All right. I think this is an Aaron Unwinds. Not always a good news with Aaron Unwinds, because usually my same scores have been low with Evil Bong movies, but here might be the same score for both, but we'll see. For my standard rating for this movie, I'm giving it 4 videotapes out of 5. I think it's the best of the first 4. I'm not sure if it's my favorite. I believe it is, though, honestly. I still really love 1, though, as well. And of the first 4, I don't think any of them are terrible. They are what they are. But this one, I think, really did kind of maximize on what a Friday movie is supposed to be. So props there to Joseph Zito. He did one other horror movie in The Prowler, and then did like a bunch of like Charles Bronson like shitty action movies, at least I think. But yeah, the horror he did, I enjoyed. I think this is better than The Prowler. And my enhanced rating, as Jeremy Big Blazeness Potters gave us when he was on, I'm going to give it a 4.5. Why not? We're going to give it the extra boost up for fun. So 4.5 pot leaves out of 5. Just because of Crispin Glover dance scene, let's be honest. All right. Before we take off, a little bit of housekeeping. Why We Love Horror Letterboxd challenge right there. If you got a Letterboxd, go ahead and take a follow. You can catch up. It's on my Letterboxd, Abby's Letterboxd is John Letterboxd, or you can just search Why We Love Horror Letterboxd Challenge 2025. 52 really good prompts there. So go ahead. We are approaching a Jewish horror movie this week. So Mazel Tov if you're caught up to date there. Why We Love Horror schedule, always the same here. Why We Love Versus with Will and John every Monday. Tuesday, Why Liv Loves Horror. Wednesdays, you're here with Aaron Unwinds. Thanks for being here. We will be going to lists for a few weeks, most likely, as we take a break from the Friday the 13th franchise for a little bit. Thursdays, the Why We Love Horror Letterboxd Watch Along Challenge show. Just what it says right there in the title. Abby, myself, and John, we talk about our movies from that week in a little more depth there. Fridays, Why We Love Horror trivia in some facet. So like, subscribe, and share it with a friend. We're always welcoming more people to join along, especially with our trivia, and we appreciate the support here on the channel. For Aaron, for Abby, and everybody else, have a good one. See ya.